Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome home. You didn't find this reading by accident. Spirit led you here for a reason. Each of these 4 piles hold a unique message from your guides about what's shifting in your love life, your healing journey, and the mirrors you've encountered lately. Take a moment, breathe deeply, and let your intuition guide you. Pick the crystal or card that pulls you in. And if you feel called to more than one pile, there's likely more than one message waiting for you. Feel free to pause the video. What I like to do is gaze over all of the cards and all of the crystals. Then I'll close my eyes, and like when I open my eyes, whichever one it's fixated on, I'll choose without any judgment or questions asked. Also, just like even scrolling thumbnails before I enter the video, I'll let my eyes catch a card or a crystal, and I'll go with that one. Feel free to also check the description box if you need like an overview for more accuracy based on a specific situation that you're dealing with. I'm Montana, and this is the Accuracy Tarot Channel. Because of my autism, I'm like fixated on organization, consistency, and truth. Like get into the heart of the matter. Because of this, it makes me like very diligent in making all of these readings basically almost like personal readings for each of you. Now, let's dive in and reconnect to your soul path together. I'm going to go over the crystal interpretation and give you a brief description of the oracle cards before we get started. A little bit about me. If you're new here, I started on YouTube a few years ago, and I did really well, like over 2,000 videos, millions of views, and then my account was hacked. It really sucked. Like my monetization was ripped away, and my collective kind of scattered, and I had to start all over from basically zero. But Spirit said, let's start again and do it stronger, and here we are. So I post daily pick-a-card readings, just like this one, and I'm planning to go live weekly for a more direct energy pull for my collective. I also intuitively channel. If this resonates with you and you feel the frequency of this space, I'd love to have you subscribe, hit the bell icon, and help me rebuild this beautiful collective of light and depth. You guys can leave comments, tell me where you're from, or just let me know where in the reading it connected with you as we get to know each other. Now, today's topic for the reading is what's in motion for your love life. It's a layered reading with deep insight into what you're learning through love, the contracts you've entered, and the soul evolution you're stepping into. We'll be working with like 4 unique piles, and each of them, as you can see, are paired with the crystal. So you don't have to include the decoration, but feel free if you'd like to. I'm also using oracle cards, and I'll share some of the decks with you in the description box. And we're using 4 different tarot decks to give it, definition. So here are the options. Keep in mind, though my readings are timeless, I do also want to share with you the energy of the day that it was recorded. Mercury's transit into Taurus engages like grounded thinking, deliberate communication, and practical decision making. An excellent period for reassessing goals and solidifying plans. So us sharing this today and me sharing my story with you was just like right on time. Now there's a trine with Venus, and Venus inspires love. So I thought it was more than perfect, and I was, intuitively guided to do like a love reading, pick a card, because it's a harmonious aspect between Venus and Mars, the feminine and masculine. It enhances passion, creativity, and balance relationships. It's a favorable time for artistic pursuits and deepening emotional connections, and I'm trying to connect with you. So the observation from the stars in the early morning sky is a beautiful alignment of the moon, Venus, and Saturn, which offers a visual treat and symbolizes harmony between emotions, the moon, love, Venus, and disciplined Saturn. And I thought that was so great with my Asperger's or autism and the strict discipline I have for my work ethic in Saturn, with the love in the relationships, my heart's and yours, and then the moon's emotions. This is going to be like super great for all of us. Now, I zoomed in a bit so that you guys could see the main cards, the Crystal Companion, and kind of give you a brief breakdown. We'll also do a 7-card spread for each of your cards, and the 7-card spread layout is basically your feelings, their feelings, the connection between you, the challenge, the strengths, the advice, and the potential outcome. For the first group, you guys have, which I thought was super cute, the 2 white wolves, which symbolizes like inner guidance and emotional intelligence. This is also selenite crystal. So if you have a connection to selenite or cleansing, it's the crown chakra for clarity, etheric guidance, and cleansing confusion, right? The 2 wolves is trusting your intuition over illusion. You're being pulled in 2 directions, or there may be someone involved in the situation that feels pulled in 2 directions, but only one brings peace. The path is quiet, but it knows your name. This spread focuses on the heart of the matter, love and relationships for all 4 of your cards. And the second group, we have the snow leopard and the black marble. This is grounding, resilience, sacred silence, and inner protection. The snow leopard embody the frost spirit. You're being guided to observe in stillness, and there's strength and resilience, power and poise. The card speaks to silent transformation, karmic cycles, and emotional self-discipline. So that's pretty cool, considering the trine with Saturn and Venus and the moon on the day that the reading itself was recorded. The third group, you guys have smoky quartz and frost agility, which is the little white rabbit, super cute. Transmutation of negative energy, grounding amidst chaos, inner strength during transitions, and the white rabbit, you are quickening. Spirit is nudging you toward a rapid awakening, so you or your partner, and you're being asked to trust your ability, but also stay grounded. Love may be coming in fast or leaving fast. Either way, you're being prepared for major energetic acceleration. Lastly, we have the little elk, and your crystal is, the card is the blue mountain. The crystal is petrified wood, which is super cool because it represents like ancestral grounding, time travel through memory, and soul contracts with sacred reflection. The frozen mirrors reveal is the theme of this oracle card, and this message is about seeing clearly where distortion may have shaped the relationship, and it's an intense mirror connection. What you see in them reflects a part of your own healing. Love here is both a teacher and a test. I think we've all kind of been there. So let's dive in and get started with the reading. Really quickly, if you are struggling with making your selection, I have some zodiac selenite crystals here, and this is Gemini, Aries, and Scorpio. If you want to go by signs, we have Leo, Libra. Okay, wait. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is Gemini, Aries, and Virgo. This one is Leo, Libra, and Scorpio. We have Taurus, Cancer, Pisces, Aquarius, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. So that could help not to add to any of the confusion. We're going to get started with group 1. Group 1, your energy has been shuffled out in the card deck. You have 2 an angel answer card and the Oracle's amulet card for you and your person. We're also going to shuffle out additional Oracle cards and tarot and go over your 7-card spread. Now, intuitively, it is apparent that there are regrets. There may have even been a separation or no contact, or somebody just going within. One of you or both may have kind of carried the relationship on your back, whether you were actually together or it was an energetic or like emotional connection. Because sometimes you have a relationship where there's a commitment, and other times there's just like a strong magnetic pull, and like a consistent, situation. You have the Tower, the Queen of Swords, the 7 of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Someone may have had to stand up for themselves, and or there's some restriction when it comes to like you walking the same path or connecting. Now, there may be a person who has deep regrets about the situation, but hasn't really apologized and could even be refusing to see. Okay? There also may be a strong emotional pull, or somebody just not being completely honest about their emotions, where there's this glass ceiling that caves in, and it's life or the awakening itself that sets this person off on a journey that may bring them to realization where they're doing the work or like inner work on their emotions, which ultimately could be a catalyst for improvement, which I think is super cool. Now, there's grieving or something a person thought would be isn't, whether it's a breakup, distance, or emotional withdrawal. Part of the heart is still holding space for someone who may not be present. So there could be feelings of disappointment, regret, or longing to reconcile, but there is more hope. Okay. The 2 of Cups are upright, and behind you it suggests all is not lost when it comes to the 5 of Cups. As far as the feelings, there may have been some emotional upheavals or emotional heaviness, but quietly hoping for a second chance. We have Mars and Scorpio energy, and that's your 8th house. Intensity, death, rebirth, and deep soul bonds. So that's why I mentioned like sometimes there isn't an official record of a relationship or an official breakup. It's just like a thing that always is. Now, a powerful combination here would be because of the Tower and its shocking revelation, and the grief may have been caused by that, right? The current feelings being the Hermit. Someone may have retreated. They're soul searching, and not out of disinterest, but out of emotional overload or like a karmic awakening. They care, but they're working through some things silently, and their love may be hidden under layers of silence or spiritual seeking. Their feelings are more so disconnected externally because of the introspective, but internally they do focus on the connection. We have Virgo in the 6th house, which is inner work, healing, and solitude. And a significant connection with the Hermit and like the 5 of Cups shows emotional distance that's mutual, but for different reasons. So it's like grief versus introspection, but it doesn't have to be that for all of you, the particular reason. But it's like if you're in separation or no contact, there's, mutual understanding. The 10 of Wands definitely points to a heavy relationship where both of you were carrying emotional burdens alone. That could be from within this relationship or outside of the relationship, but there were heavy burdens being carried. Communication, if any, at some point feels or felt strained, and responsibilities may have felt lopsided. Okay. Both feel the weight, but neither want to let go. So that's even like a person who is holding the regrets and not communicating, or a person who feels they may deserve an apology or an explanation in a situation. Now, Saturn and Sagittarius here is the 9th house of life lessons, endurance, and emotional burdens. And I'll tell you that relief may come between carrying this 10 wands and this huge house on his back. I feel that if that's the life lesson, I think you intuitively, you know where I'm going with this. Like, I think Erykah Badu said in an interview once when she spoke about like relationships and, forgiving people, or just allowing ourselves to sometimes go back and forward and loop to loop in situations and twin flames and all that kind of stuff. And she said, what advice would you give someone dealing with that? And she said, you'll get tired. You will get tired. So that's the heaviness that I feel with the 10 of Wands, and the, traditional sense of what it means, as well as the visual of, having a burning house on your back with the tower, right? And it's like it's going to take this water to put the fire out. So there's something about the emotions or the union itself that's gonna help it. Maybe it even takes this person to help shed some false identity or outdated belief, because like you're or someone's in water, right, in this particular picture. But if I'm gonna take water from the well of this Ace of Cups, it's either like divine intervention because of the aces coming from the divine, or like someone taking this pail, right, and putting the fire out even though you're surrounded by water. So I hope that makes sense. And then just like a visual, it's like the person in the Hermit card may have stirred up something, because they're up top with the shield, and then everyone else is below, and you can't really tell if they're in unison or attacking. But the 7 of Wands is generally like a defense thing, so they're not on the same page. This one riles them up, walks away, regrets it. They're here, and is it them that set the house on fire, or them being the what's coming at you with the 7 wands, right? If that makes sense. Because it's going against the grain with the 7 wands. There's one wand who could be you or the person, and then the other 6 wands is the awareness, the awakening, the recognition, or whatever is attacking, the current or whatever. And what that did was actually shatter the glass of whatever lies had been told in the first place. So that's very unique. Now, it's not you that is like hanging on to it per se, because I see the 10 of Wands hanging on, but it's like carrying the weight. So it's the lie or the situation, more so than the people, which is what makes it like karmic-y, soul purpose-y, divine intervention type deal. Now, the Tower, is a dramatic truth, the breakup itself, or the painful realization, because you do have a possible separation and regrets. So the Tower says that it could have been unexpected or just like huge when it was felt. So even if you didn't experience this shock, it happened, with the person. They realized the foundation and the feelings weren't like lining up. Maybe they weren't honest, or that could have led to the regrets. There may have also been sudden upheaval and truth bombs, betrayal, or a spiritual awakening that separated you. And if they're dealing with a tower moment, it could even be other catalysts that they're experiencing now, which led to the regret for whatever it is that they had with you or what transpired with you guys. We have Mars in Aries, which is the first house. Okay, this is big. Identity, sudden beginnings and endings. So there could even be like sudden feelings and carrying that burden and resisting it, because I'm supposed to be finding myself, or I need to figure me out, or whatever pulls a person or people to isolate, separate themselves, or detach. There's also a feeling of sudden emotions, and that weighing heavy on the person. So, and we have Libra here with the Queen of Swords. With the Five of Cups, she represents like balance, and she's receiving or even handing out the blindfold. And to me, this blindfold is like similar to what's wrapped around the eyes of the seer or the high priestess and the Two of Swords. It's either like a different perspective, like a way to see from another angle, being prepared, even if you were shocked, and sand thrown in your eyes, having that like Karate Kid moment. Not trying to tell my age. So, it also is the sword being raised for me, and she's, you can see it. I'm not hiding it. That's like the first thing you see. It's like the sword, then me, right? So that means truth and clarity followed a painful event. The Queen of Swords and the Tower, the shocking loss. And she's not going to play about it, okay? Now, the strengths is in your Queen of Swords. So despite the pain, both of you can see clearly now. There's wisdom, maturity, and emotional discernment. And the connection could have taught both of you how to speak truth and set boundaries. Intellectual respect, soul deep honesty, and emotional wisdom. And we have the 7th house of relationships, fairness, and clarity. And okay, I was gonna say it, but I kind of held back, so I'm still gonna say it. But I was gonna say, how cool is that? Like, even if this isn't the forever person, for some of you it could be, okay? Going in someone's memoir is pretty dope. Like, I'm gonna remember this relationship or this situation, and it helped change an aspect of me forever. So, my clarity or my expectations of fairness, how I go about, relationships altogether, my 7th house, you are embedded in this moment. So I think that's kind of cool. Standing your ground emotionally and learning not to chase, not to fold. The connection needs strong boundaries to rebalance. And that's something that, you learn when you learn. I could say, you learn it after the first breakup. Or because usually that's the one that hurts the most. You never know. Because we're all different. But it's also how we learn, or I've learned, in the feminine and masculine energies of a relationship, how there's different love languages and like connection and communication styles. Some people operate like that. Like, when you trust them and give them your all and put them up on a pedestal, it makes them a certain way. But when you don't chase them and you could care less and even move on, they desire the connection. I've noticed that sometimes that happens, and it doesn't have to just be adults or relationships. It could be parent-child demographics. Like, if I tell you not to date these kind of people, you go date them. Intentionally or unintentionally, is done. But when I say, oh yeah, that's fine, whatever, then you're like, I don't know. Or if I say, I like her for you, I like him for you, then it's like, I don't know if I like them anymore. But if I said, stay away from them, no way, it's like you got to have it. You know what I mean? So that happens sometimes. Now, fight for your inner peace. If reconciliation is meant to happen, it will. You have Mars, Leo energy, 5th house, self-worth, and she's right under the 5, right? So, and you guys literally have the house. So it's like, whatever this was attracted, possibly based on, soul path and astrological correspondence. So it's bigger than just, whatever. Self-worth, courage, and passion. A significant combination would be like the Tower and the 7 of Wands, protecting your peace after the breakup. So be mindful of that. Now, the potential for it is a new emotional chapter. You got that Ace of Cups. Either a reconciliation based on honesty, because see, that's that regret, that forgiveness, that I've been thinking about it but resisting it, and I think I'm a hopeless romantic. So there's also brand new love with the Ace of Cups that honors your depth, healing, emotional renewal, overflow heart energy. So I think that that's super dope. And it's a water element of Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. It's the 4th and the 12th houses. The Ace of Cups with the Queen of Swords is love that begins with truth. And the Ace of Cups in the Tower is a clean slate after destruction. So I love that. Like, wherever you pick up on the situation, the new love that starts with truth because of blah, blah, blah. Or a clean slate after this type deal. So don't forget, to set your intentions on personal clarity, right? Because we got this almost personal type reading going. And we're going to take out some extra bonus cards. Okay, well, that didn't hesitate. Oh, I love Citron. This is very happy. You got creativity, happiness, and manifestation with justice, strength, stability, and then you have love, emotional healing, and compassion. So I'm going to lay them out as they presented themselves, and we're going to go over them. I'll just do that. We are also taking, you got first house. We went over first house in your reading. So that's significant: self, body, and presence. Get us some messages, some reflection. This could be a big deal. Ooh, you are a priority. So this could be what the person is reflecting on, or you. Be patient with yourself if you are the cross watcher or the individual in the 5 of Cups with the regrets. And lastly, before we dig into your oracle messages, I wanted one more, but we have the trifecta here. Look at that. It's change, secure, and mystery. And so they came out like this. This is so super dope. Can I sit them up here? Or I don't want to cover them. So maybe I won't. But I just wanted you to be able to see them. Alright. Okay, so with the first card that came out, we have Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, and the Sun, a powerful and energizing stone. Citrine derives its warmth from the rays of the sun and shines positively wherever it's needed, like vitamin C for the soul. Citrine works its magic on both physical and emotional levels, transmuting negativity into light-filled vibes and positivity, and that's possibly how we go from the Five of Cups to the Ace of Cups through this situation. Now, it's a great stone for enhancing one's prosperity as well. Citrine magnifies your creativity to inspire manifestation, known as the light maker. Love that. It encourages fresh beginnings, new ideas, and living life to the fullest. Accept the abundance that is coming your way, is what it says. Very beautiful. Now with red jasper, you have justice, strength, stability. So she's connected to justice. This has the reverse effects, instability to stability. So it works closely with the base chakra and heals any wounds surrounding injustice, right? It grounds us back to earth and alleviates chronic worry, clearing mental blockages to make space for balanced emotions and thoughts. Working with the base chakra, red jasper can also help heal issues related to sex, inviting you to explore your sexuality in healthy ways, providing stability and protection. Red jasper balances yin and yang, expressing masculine and feminine energies that feel safe yet nourished. And this is Aries, Scorpio, and Mars. Beautiful. We have Cobalto calcite. Okay. Love is all you need, especially with Cobalto calcite, a stone of unconditional love and forgiveness. See, I knew it was coming. This apology, this forgiveness. It's a crystal that promotes emotional healing above all else. It fosters compassion for yourself, exuding the confidence that your self-worth can only be cultivated from within. Self-love rituals are encouraged with this stone, especially for those that nourish and honor your body as a temple. It amplifies the vibration of love and nurturing the inner child and giving you endless energetic hugs. You are always supported. This is Cancer Venus energy. Love that. And then speaking of that, you had the You Are Supported card and the Be Patient with Yourself card. Love that. Now, along with the first house, oh, and look, it came right under self, body, and presence is important. So some of us could be dealing with like karmic connections tied to the root chakra and all that good stuff. And she is like, nope. Okay. I didn't even bring it up because it's like, traditional to presume, but the Hermit also talks about like ghosting. And that could have been present in a situation. Change, be it on the horizon or what's being necessary, or even what's being asked, like what's required. Like, I'm not taking you back unless something's different. Okay. And it could include tying the knot or just having a greater sense of security when it comes to the situation. It could also be advice from the other side because you got mystery, security, and change. And so it's like, yeah, this, little light up here in communication, the pyramid, because we communicated with the sky and then I see clouds with this opening. So that could be like a message to focus on security, to know your worth if you're looking for, marriage or commitment. And if there are plans for reconciliation, apologies, or conversations. To be mindful on, communicating how things have changed or what needs to change. And if this is a new relationship for you, the difference is it's not what you expect. Right? So I think that's super cool. There's also like a magnetic connection that someone who can understand why they feel this way about you just has like the knots in the rope. It's like, I can't disconnect from this person. I have tried. I don't understand why it's this way. And that could be causing some sort of change within them or in what happens next. So to answer your personal question, we have our angel answer card as promised. You have a yes to your question. And your person has bearing off path. So they may have a strong connection to this Hermit card. Or maybe it's you that's on the glow up, not being who they expected you to be. So it's like you're no longer on path with the karmic lesson. It's like, I'm not carrying this, whatever this was supposed to be. I'm going to opt for something, a spiritual connection instead of a karmic one, or new emotions. So that's what I have, group one. I do hope that it helps. And don't forget, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You will receive daily and weekly updates on the channel for your pick a cards and your live videos. Leave a comment. Please help me rebuild the channel. You guys would be like considered the founding members. And engagement is key. It is very important to me. And I promise to be consistent and bring the accuracy. And I'm just asking to engage with our new collective. So again, thank you for watching. Until next time. Hello, group 2. You guys selected either Leo, Libra, and Scorpio, the black marble, or the snow leopard. We are going to do a 7-card spread. We have 2 answer cards, so set the intentions to get some personal energy or advice. And we also have oracle bonus and clarifiers. Your energy has been pre-shuffled into your spread. And you guys start right off with the Wheel of Fortune and the uprights. You sense something big is shifting. Either destiny is bringing someone back or pulling you in a new timeline. You guys have or will be very sharp and focused in your direction. Anything that was a mystery or wasn't revealed, there's a strong sense of clarity and awareness that not only gives you the confidence you need in this particular situation, but as far as like in life. Commitment, standing your ground, and choosing a road that is not paved, less traveled, brings you luck, possibly even fortune for some of you. Once there was an initial idea, and then the steps were taken to support that idea, and now it's the movement of seeing what is desired and like going for it, because that's what I get from the snow leopard. That's what I feel from him, even though his back is turned to me and he's kind of looking toward the past. I feel it's more of a reflective thing. And then you have a close-up encounter, right, where there's a need to stand our ground. Maybe this is a very personal or intimate situation. Commitment could be involved, or just, somebody taking their time and you like, well, I don't know if I got the time. And so I'm going to have to be creative or, do something different because of the timing. I'm not hanging around. I'm communicating clearly. I have a plan, and I'm sticking to it. So that is very cool. There is some of you or someone who may receive communication. This could be from an older gentleman who now has become aware, took their poor sweet time, was resisting having this conversation, but the divine is orchestrating this, and one or both of you didn't see it coming. It's like a path that was just fell out of the sky. Right? Type of thing. Now, it's possibly a fated connection, and there's emotional honesty, but with caution. The feelings in this situation are hopeful and watching for signs. So there's spiritual attunement here. We have Jupiter, Sagittarius, the 9th house, which is destiny, belief systems, and karmic ties. The Wheel of Fortune with the Ace of Swords gives us like sudden insight and karmic clarity, and I love that, because once the King of Swords clearly becomes the king, right? Through the clouds, there's like prestigious, pristine, precision. There's precise, how we communicate. There's precision on the plan. There's like not just the battle, but the war, right? So is won. I like the Knight of Pentacles and love readings because it does talk about moving slow. And the shadow energy is like moving slow, if at all, right? So in this case, I feel their heart is sincere, but their pace is cautious, because this is their current feelings. So it may be a little bit slow. Oh, and that's why I was like in the beginning, I know what I got time for, type deal. Which is fair, because the snow leopard, it has the right, to feel that way. But this person could be really grounded and cautious, or even hesitant a bit. They're reliable, or feel that you are in this connection, but there's emotionally reservation, if that makes sense. No rush. Now, what I like about that is, considering the snow leopard, like initially when I saw the card, I was like, they got leopards in the, in the cold, in the Arctic, whatever, whatever. Because you think of the feline, or you think of like the tiger, the lion, leopard. They're like fast, agility, alpha energy in the forest, desert, wilderness, wherever they are. Hunters, it's like fire. So fire in the ice age, and that's where you're from, like that's your home, that's your nature. That is interesting. That gives the resistance, and that gives the patience. And I think that's what makes the planning or the communication or the focus so clear, because of that extra time. But at the same time, that could leave room for questioning. It's like, why does it take so much time? What's taking so long? Or like this guy said, a man told him about relationships, and he was sharing it with someone else who had some grievances with their partner, and it was her fault. He was mad blah, blah. She's tripping or whatever. And the man told him that he was told, right? Because that's how you got to start the story. Don't leave room for speculation. Like, I don't have to tell her everything. I don't have to, he didn't like that his partner needed reassurance. And okay. But the guy said, you know how they say happy wife, happy life, or his stance was, if you didn't leave room for speculation, then there wouldn't have been speculation. So you're mad that she's speculating, but you left room for it. Had we communicated clearly, because we're in a committed situation, there wouldn't have been resistance if this person was able to understand and not wait on, what is this? What was that? Where are we? How do you feel? What you doing? What you thinking? What's going on? So I kept that, even though I was not even a third party in that conversation. I was like, I respect that. That's a man. Whatever. Because of course it makes it easier for the woman, but in their defense, right? Because I am very neutral in the court of law. You needing that, or us needing that, or her needing that, is an opportunity for improvement. There lies the where we need to start at. Because honestly, are partners responsible for making our triggers more comfortable for us? That would be nice. That is sweet. And if you're an empath, or just have that love language and communication style, great. But is it written in stone? But I have to make your life lessons and karmic wounds easier for you. And that's, so you don't, let's not look at the work that may need to be done on, I'll just say me, I'm the chick. Let's not look at the work that needs to be done on my end and why I need that so bad, or it does this thing to me. Let's just look at, you're not the right fit for me because you don't make it easy. And two things can be true. You not making it easy is a problem. And also, my inability to have resolved that problem within myself is a thing. So, I'm fair. So there's some relationship counseling 101. However, even though this person is slow and they're not rushing, they are reliable and grounded, just cautious and possibly hesitant. They feel something meaningful here, but may be stuck in their routine or obligation. So it's not you, it's literally them type deal. We have Virgo, Taurus energy, 6th house and 2nd house, which is loyalty, structure, and steady effort. So if they're not giving the steady effort yet, they're probably working on the structure. And they are loyal. So they could be loyal to the structure or loyal to the effort. Just when will the time turn type deal. The Knight of Pentacles, the Hangman reverse, emotional stagnation or resistance to change. That's the wounded warrior, that is like, and also someone who feels I've been like this, or my parents' relationship was like this, or my last relationship was like this, and what? We need to customize this approach. So then that takes us to our Hangman in reverse. Some energy could feel stuck, as if both of you are waiting for the other to act. And is that, if I were a fly on the wall and the two people don't know it, it's like the rom-com movies. The one person waiting and the other person waiting, but since there may not be communication or delayed reactions, You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. So there is spiritual tension. Someone is avoiding unnecessary sacrifice or truth. That's just like the guy saying, what do you mean? I left room for speculation. And also, or, I don't want to put gender on it. That's just like the person, who says, what do you mean? I left room for speculation. Or the other person, what do you mean? That's something that I'm required to work on. So there's a limbo here. There may be fears of letting go. And there could be fears of stepping forward. And just imagine the likelihood of that mirror attracting itself like that, right? We have Neptune in Pisces, 12th house. Unconscious holding patterns. My, would they be stubborn? Because you're not even conscious of it. So can't nobody tell you nothing. I'm not gonna sound like the guru lady, right? Even though I'm absolutely positive that's what I'm being divinely intervened and trained to step into. So right now I'll just speak as Montana, saying that I know it now, but I didn't always know, right? I'm being humble, but learning so much about others, because before I got to self, it was about others. We take psychology first before we get into philosophy and spiritual awakenings and life paths, right? Some of us, it's like, I want to help, I want to understand people, or it's just, whatever the case. So it's like, it took institutionalized education and personal experiences to see other people being so stuck and so they didn't even know. Like, literally, they weren't gaslighting or narcissists. They were honestly in their own dimension of perspective. And you telling them that something was off, needed to be looked at or changed, was like, what are you talking about? I mean, literally, I knew a guy, okay, that had, through our friendship, told me crazy stories about his past. And I was like, have you noticed that all of your relationships start like that? And you meet them all, within this vicinity of location, and they all go the same way? And he's like, he was serious. He was like, no, like you tripping. You are overanalyzing. Now, he's a Gemini, so he could have been gaslighting me. No shade. Because I have Gemini North Node, so no shade to any of my zodiacs, okay? But I honestly feel like he didn't see, and I'm talking about 5-6 relationships, because we talked a lot, and he was, an attractive guy, and he was older, so there were many stories to talk about. And yeah, he was like, no, I don't see the correlation. And I thought to myself, is there something I'm doing that about? Because he wasn't the only one. I can go ask my son a question, and he look at me like, what are you talking about, lady? And I'm literally correct, because my IQ is 138, and you can block me, but I am usually right. In my big age, I got a track record, hence the name of the channel. But yeah, he's like, so I don't know that, because I'm a Pisces, or because I don't want to say perfectionist, but with Asperger's, you look into things for accuracy. So yeah, I looked into myself and was like, is there anything I'm just sitting here? It's not that I'm refusing to see it, but I just don't see it. I gotta have something, because I'm a lot of people, I won't say the majority, but there's a lot of people, in my environment. Life is supposed to be a mirror, right? So I'm like, what am I doing that with? So anyways, unconscious holding patterns. So just keep that in my group too. Hangman, reverse with the King of Swords, is someone knows the truth but is refusing to act. So I just laid all that out for them for them not to be that guy or that girl. But we could have that guy or that girl, because I be trying to give the benefit of doubt, and that's kind of like my devil's advocate nature. I have been called that too. It's like, but what if, right? Here's that's one perspective type deal. The challenges present in this situation, with the King of Swords leading them, talks about coldness or emotional detachment, and having a Gemini North Node, and this Gemini friend that I was even just talking about, would shed light on someone who, either both of you or one of you, is prioritizing logic over feeling. So that's a nature. And what I like about this for you, group 2, is it ain't you. Literally, it's them. And it's an old saying, it's not you, it's me. And they just gaslighting to get through the conversation. But no, really, it's you, Tink. Now, the benefit of this connection is possibly intellectual, but there are emotional walls, right? Which causes the hesitance. Okay. We have Aquarius 11th house with mental strategy, detachment, and long-term goals. And I like that, long-term goals. I do like that. Now, these two is clarity can cut through silence. See what I mean? So I'm not even waiting anymore, or fighting off the realization that's taking me a long time. So that's cool. Now the strength is the 3 of Wands. Mutual hope. So ain't nobody fixing it right now, but everybody hope for the best in the future. It's cute. That's something. Energetically, someone is still looking toward the other. And because of the 7 card spread and the intentions that we said before, your cards were shuffled out. It could be you. I'm not going to lie, but I have been told, and I'm working on me, right? It's about tact and delivery. So even though I could be right, everyone's not always ready to receive it. Like, we're talking about the weather. And I'm like, so it doesn't matter that I'm autistic and I have Asperger's and that I'm not trying to, and that we having a conversation. I have to alleviate my conditions to be a better human for the person I'm talking to. But they can't do that for me, right? Oh my gosh. So I don't like saying you, but see, the benefit is tarot is saying it's not me. When I set the intention to say they, you, y'all, tarot said they and you and y'all. So yeah, tarot did say that you are still looking toward one another. You being both of y'all this time. And there's potential, and both may be manifesting or visualizing the coming together. Just imagine that. Somebody stubborn, defensive, and hesitant, planning in their mind. But look, you too, though. Whatever your resistance is, you too. So that is something. Long distance yearning. Spiritual vision, higher timeline potential. Sun in Aries, 9th house. Expansion, divine timing, and adventure. Divine timing. That's the only thing that can make sense of this fire creature that is a natural inhabitant of this snowland. I just thought that was crazy. But it's miraculous. That's pretty dope. Now, the advice in the 7 of Wands is always welcomed in my book, which is holding your boundaries, not lowering our standards for someone who is indecisive. Now, if you're not dealing with an air sign, there's an air sign nature, or it's in their chart, which is why we got this big sign right here, and this is a past person. So I don't know if you met someone yesterday and you thinking about them, and then this old person is coming through, because it could be an ex, honestly, where I just waited, or they just waited. It's like, what were you waiting on? Not you thawing out, but stand your ground emotionally. You deserve clarity and presence. Mars and Leo, 5th house, courage, heart defense, right? Self-honor. Don't let cool logic overweigh heart truth is the message for your person or for you. Now, the potential in this is a breakthrough. Someone speaks up with the truth or gain full clarity and release from the loop, because this could also just be a loop, which is, I don't like it so close to that 3 wands. It's like we had some decent options and paths and choices, but we take this delusional one and we're in a loop. I don't like that a lot. Now, I do like that clarity cuts karmic cords, because being in a delusional loop is karmic. There's potential for communication, apology, or a clean emotional slate. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, 3rd, 7th, 11th house. And then a faded truth revealed. Now, I want to take a clarifier, because I ain't even got to y'all bonus cards. We having too much fun. Okay, wait, I'm going to get to them right now, I promise. But what is this? Because I know you want to know. A faded truth revealed. Faded truth revealed. Okay. There we go. Oh, okay. Good. I'm glad I looked. Don't you just strongly dislike when you're watching a reading and they just got reversals everywhere? And you looking at them, shuffle it like, baby, your card's upside down. But I try not to question. I don't question spirit. I'm like, whatever. So we have the Strength card. That's Leo season. So by August, there may be and we got the Tower, we got the Star, we got the 9 of Pentacles. Now, some of you are being released from the karmic cords, and something really lucrative could come of it for your spiritual wealth, manifesting into some financial gain. Others of you, it just could be like, I'm not shocked if it's been kind of rocky. It's like a calm after the storm, and whoever was unobtainable probably now more so obtained, where an unstable, shaky situation becomes solid. I like that too. So we'll see for you, group 2, come Leo season. Now let's get to the rest of y'all cards, as I'm being long-winded. Your answer card. So set the intention. You'll have 1 angel answer card, and then 1 what is it, like amulet answer card. Okay, because I'm into angels and I'm into just spirit. Okay, well, no, let me not say that, because I ain't into all spirits now. But could y'all see that? Y'all better not have seen that. Dang it, me in my mouth. Let me see what this is. Ooh, I'm keeping it. It was on the table, and usually when cards like stick to a surface, I let them rock. So I'm keeping it because it's super dope. But if you are like me and it's like, no, you didn't shuffle that out. Ooh, the bottom of the deck say loosen your grip. But I'll shuffle one out for you anyway, because I know how it feels. And Spirit said, no, this card says hit me. Well, it says shed and release, and then release the desire. Okay, I ain't shuffling Nothing else out. We just gonna get over our being bossy. God damn. Oh, excuse me. Did I say that? Oh, okay. Spirit just wasn't feeling that. Then my card's all upside down. Hold on. I gotta fix them. Half of them upright, half in reverse. Okay, boom. I fixed them. Good Lord. I was like, I'll do for you, baby. And Spirit said, no, you won't. If I said what I said was a shuffle. We are getting our Astro card. All right now. Our crystal card. Okay. All right now. I know some of y'all was getting some lucrativity. Some oracle cards. And they just, baby, Spirit is, y'all on point. That's probably why you got the swords and carrying on. No delays. Okay. And then some more oracle cards. These are my new babies, so we're going to have fun with these and get into the interpretation. 3 cards, please. Very cool. Ooh. I love that. I'm such a love bug. You have elevation, wings, love and heart, and growth and spiral. We're going to get to that. I feel it in my heart. Should I just do it now before like the passion leave? All right, first of all, we got wings and elevation. That is like goddessship. Next to growth and love and heart. Okay. So it gives me like twin flame energy, where for some of you this is a spiritual thing with what some people call your higher self, or it's a lot. Like, it's so many names that are connected to it, but it's just like this non-physical, faded. It's what awakenings, or like, especially like a light body activation. I guess all awakenings don't lead to you potentially being connected to a divine being, or some other dimensional aspect of self, or godship, or whatever. So we can go into that later, but I won't hold y'all today. It's either or. The old ex relationship, or the twin flame relationship, or the long drag relation, situationship or whatever, evolves. And this burning heart is just like, it's on fire and it's passionate. I guess this is why I was like, I'm gonna start here, because it just felt so good and it was rewarding. And then the growth from it, it's like you're rewarded, for those of you where it's a spiritual thing and you pass some sort of test because something near and dear to your heart, this emotional wound, gets triggered or whatever, and there's growth in a change in perspective, or you saying, nay, enough. You saying that when it was super hard to. Okay, it brings about some sort of reward. And then, like I said, there's also a physical aspect where, for some of you, this burning heart and this evolution, where something takes flight or there's divine intervention. I like it. And, I'm a Stranger Things fan. Elle always goes into the water to do her super thing. You have this shell, water creature, number 11. Okay. So if you, that's how I could break it down without stumbling. Like there was a physical relationship where it was just like adorable and magnetic and faded and unique. And then there was also her and this gift. And because we're in this third dimension, that's not organic to have gifts like that. So even if some mad scientists thought it was created, it wasn't. It's a interdimensional extraterrestrial type thing, And if you're saying this crazy lady believe people have superpowers like Elle, well, if you don't, why are you sitting here listening to me? Why do you think? You know what I'm saying? Let's not go there. I'm funny. Sorry. Okay. So we have Pisces here, and psychic, intuitive, and dreamy. Okay, I like that. We also have Jade. Okay. Jade is very lucky. Some of you have a green light. I like the color. Wisdom, abundance, and good luck with this Wheel of Fortune come August or Leo season. Hello. We have Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Libra. Again, no shade, but like all signs that, I want a reward for going through the motions with them. Well, not Taurus. Taurus is, well, no, I was gonna say Tauruses are sweethearts, but I do know this one Taurus he's something else. He lie like Aquarius, and don't block me, because they said Libras and Aquarius lie. I have Aquarius moon. When I was little, I was a liar, but not as an adult, so I don't know, but this ain't about me. Jade is highly prized and sacred, a wonderful stone for protection and healing, known as a dream stone. Jade will stimulate messages and channel them into your dreams when placed on your third eye chakra. So it's like, I wish I could hand this to you and then we all stick it, on our faces before bed. But if you have Jade, or if you just, pay attention to your dreams in the near future, the ultimate good luck charm has come upon you in this reading. Jade promotes prosperity in every aspect of your life by opening the heart chakra. It's not a coincidence. I don't fluff cake either, because again, my personality is different. My social skills are different. My communication style is different. On my channel, I assure you, I do not coddle and we won't fluff cake. So this burning heart, along with this heart chakra opening and the boosting your ability to receive, I love it. Jade is a reminder of this true abundance, amplifying the good fortune of your vitality. Remember that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. So some of you, that said, some of you may not even feel like, oh, I'm not lucky. Some big break once again, right? I'm gonna tell you, because spirit, I already know I'm a troublemaker. It's like, you can't intervene. I'm not intervening, but I will say sometimes you don't want to hear it, so don't block me. But if you think like that, sometimes the lesson is in that right there. Once again, here we go. Like, we are caught up in the experience and have become it, accepted it, but still resisting it. With this Seven of Wands, it's like, I say stuff like that, but deep down in my heart, I wish it wasn't that way. I do wish my luck would change. But, I've been at it for a while, and I know what's to come, and I'm prepared for it. I know I'll overcome it, but at the same time, it's upheaval, But again, don't block me. It's like, you're doing good at it. Slow and steady wins the race here, and you're built to cross the finish line. But if you're anything like me, I would also say to spirit, excuse me, just because I'm built for something doesn't mean like that's what I want to experience. Now these teeny tiny words over here, let me see. Gosh. Okay. What's the best that could happen. All right, so that cynical energy that I just kind of tapped into, this card is for us, right? Because I have been cynical. My Mayan sign is the vulture, the phoenix, the owl. They're all the same, sort of. And in shadow, it could be very like whatever-y, okay? And you don't want to add that to the King of Swords and the Seven of Wands would be crazy. So I get it. But for whoever could be in that energy, regardless of your mind sign, okay, in astrological correspondence, what's the best that could happen? Think of it right now, because you got a chance in what you may consider hell, right? If you're just tired and feel like, oh, here we go, right? So what is the best that could happen? Just imagine for 1 second here with us right now. What's the best that could happen? All right. And then I set the intention that if it's within God's will, that you get that best that could happen right now, or, Leo season. So claim it, put me a purple heart in the comments or whatever. Your answer cards, which was funny. Okay, let's get to the comedy here, because it was like, I don't work for them. I'm not shuffling no more cards. Not me, spirit. But the first answer card, you have helpful people. That is very specific, because it's kind of random. And a lot of these people, oh my God, are like spirit collective. These helpful people are probably like contracts or agreements, arrangements, or it's been orchestrated, on the other side. Not in the physical, but for some of you, it could be physical, because these are angel cards. So it's probably like all the people gonna be angels. But I feel like, because they say a lot of our connections start in the spiritual realm, this is super dope. The second card, a sign of success, group 2. So I super enjoyed chatting up with you guys. And don't forget, as we build the collective, I would appreciate your support. I can't stress it enough. If you could like the video, engage, leave me a comment, a heart, just say hi. And I promise to stay consistent, to do my best. And until next time, group 3, welcome into your space. You guys may have selected the Smoky Quartz, the Oracle of the Crystal Frost, Taurus, Cancer, or Pisces. Now, don't tell anybody, so I'm gonna whisper it. This is just between us. This is the best crystal of the whole group, because it's like a personal crystal. Before I became like a collector and a reader and a doctor and all that kind of stuff, I just like that. And I have carried this little crystal around for over a decade, and look at it. It's like God itself just touched it, and it's part of heaven is in it. So I said that to say I'm a huge fan of quartz, and this one is just like special. That's all. I also like rabbits, and maybe we'll get lucky. Well, that's not fair, because we ain't gonna take out the rabbit's foot, but let's go ahead and tap into it before I get corny. The Crystal Frost of Agility, your tarot spread, we're doing a 7-card love spread, has been pre-shuffled out with your energy from the Roto Tarot to set an expectation, because some of you guys like to skip along and may miss something. We're going to do 2 answer cards. So set your intentions. I'll shuffle them at the end so we can let the intentions build. You get an angel answer card and then an amulet, oracle answer card. So it's kind of cool. So set the intentions for that. We're going to do an astro card, a crystal card, and clarifiers and oracle cards. So don't worry. For those of you that like a clear cut message, you're going to get that. And for others of you that are visual and just want it all laid out, you're going to get that too. Now, your current feelings with the Magician coming up, stepping into your power. You may be manifesting and someone specific, or setting intentions to align with a love that meets you in every realm. Mind, heart, spirit, and body, you know your worth and you're ready to attract a partner who matches your vibration and frequency. Maybe multiple partners. Like, I don't know, someone older and mature, or someone physically fit, ready for marriage, alpha male energy, someone who communicates properly, like a provider, a planner. And if I have any guys in the audience who's like manifesting a girl, then she's manifesting you too, to be some of those things. Confident, focused, and intentional. Group I knew I was gonna be lucky, because when we talk about love and relationship, that's a lot of the terminology that I hear. Confident, focused, intentional. Intentional is big. That's like modern day, dating talk, relationship talk. I'm dating with intentions. So being intentional is a plus. And so that's cool. You have Mercury, Gemini, Virgo, 3rd and 6th house, communication, alignment, manifesting, mastery. So that's like a power couple too. We're going to manifest each other. We're in alignment. We know how to communicate. Let's go. I love it. Mental clarity, but not being really emotional. And some of you may say good, because child, I'm a water sign. And if, my husband was like overly emotional with, my autism or just my personality, I don't know if that would be best. And I'm really, really smart, and I'm a pretty strong chick. So having a very sensitive, fragile counterpart could be perfect for us, or could lead to some problems, because I can't reduce myself, right? All right. Now, the Magician and the King of Swords, I like it. Powerful, but selective attraction. So, while you think the King of Wands could be charming and sexy and just out there doing whatever they want because they can have the pick of the litter, the King of Swords says, no. And even though the Magician is right there, who could be non-committal and experimental, this is not the shadowy side of the Magician. This is, yes, I have suitors with this 5 of Wands, that it might be, it could be some competition out there because maybe I have some value to myself. But I'm not that kind of person. You don't have to worry about that. I'm picky. So even if everybody wanted me, the gag is, I don't want them. So that's beautiful. I like that. Their current feelings, they're watching from afar. This, like I said, the King of Swords is an emotionally reserved energy. They could be highly analytical and strategic, or protective, right, of their heart. So just imagine if you're the type of person that watch a lot of relationships or see people throw themselves at you, you become selective because of your observation. It's like, what do they want me for? And then, maybe for my guys in the audience, and put me a comment if you feel me, or just anyone, where it's like not getting credit where credit is due. Just being attractive, or being highly sought after, and not being who people think you are because of looks or because of whatever. So I think that that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna stand up for you guys. Like, yeah, they're not who you think they are. This person is intelligent and sharp and picky, analytical, and has some substance, somewhere. It ain't on the table yet, but I know they got something. Now, they're curious but guarded because they're a head over heart kind of person. They may have been through some stuff. And it's like I'm waiting to see which way to go. Not communicating. Because of some other things. Now, if you're in a relationship and you just like knows it, like, give me a sign that this reading is for me. Your person may be very physically active, going to the gym, working out, and it's like they're not speaking, but having an exact thought about you when they're at the gym or when they're working out or at a football game or a basketball game or some sports event. And then they manifest you to think about them, and you haven't thought about them in forever. And here we are. So maybe you're my little rabbit that's been on ice. Like, they doing what? When? And so, yep, that's what's happening. Now we have Aquarius, 11th house, detachment, karmic contracts, and intellectual attraction. So that's what I'm saying. Both of y'all smart. Both of you guys are intelligent. This contract or karmic connection says that you can say goodbye, they can say goodbye, but you guys are not the boss of this. If you're not in this karmic energy, then the manifestation of the magician, or I could be speaking past, present, future tense, for you. So you could be very well in both scenarios and now presently manifesting someone who challenges you mentally but holds back emotionally. And it's like, why? Because I like that, or I need that, or it's just a warning that you could be wrong about this person. They're not playing the field, and just because their emotions are different doesn't mean they aren't interested, type thing. Now, the King of Wands is the husband card and my alpha male card too. Now, the Emperor is somebody else's husband, usually in the love reading, but the King of Wands speaks to like being a good husband in this scenario. So that's kind of cool. Passionate and karmic. There's strong chemistry, creative energy, and even divine masculine healing work playing out. So that's good. If you've had crappy relationships most of your life, then here's to manifesting this alpha energy that comes in and is nothing like the old ones. I love when that happens because it helps you heal this pattern of perspective. The daddy issues, mommy issues, childhood traumas, or just environmental, socioeconomic beliefs based on social norms and all that kind of stuff. You get to experience something different, so you won't be sitting around like all men are this and all women are that. I love that. I'm here for divine restoration. Okay. Big leadership energy. Love that. All right. And if you're saying, I don't know, they be toxic, then you could be the big leadership energy, and that's fine. You're being manifested and you'll have a strong presence. But just be mindful of the ego, overriding the vulnerability, which leads this person to question the emotional detachment and are they into me and what's happening here. Okay. This is Leo Sagittarius, 5th and 9th house, which is passion, adventure, and expression. So it's going to be fun either way. It's not too deep. It's not too toxic. It's not like soul wrenching and heart shattering. It's fun and it's adventurous. And I like that too. Now, it's funny that I said, if it's not, you, then it's them, because we are totally on them. But I know how the ego works. And I'm not putting my foot in my mouth, don't block me. Because technically with the King of Swords and the King of Wands, there are two very strong energies. Now, if I say two masculine energies, some people may say two dudes. That's possible. We listen and we don't judge. But masculine energy is not gender related. It's just the force of the energy. So if somebody says you're a masculine and you have ovaries, you're not a man. You're just very strong. And if you have testicles and someone says you're a feminine. So the fuck what? Excuse me, can I say that? There's no gender to feminine and masculine energy. It's just how the energy is exuded and received, just like the sun. Oh, okay. Fun fact, right? You know how this one I don't got no friends. You know how they say that the sun is masculine, the moon is feminine. So you say divine feminine with the moon. It's our intuition, our cycles and stuff. And then you see the sun and it's like alpha, man, God, Father, King, right? Hey, you can go dig down the rabbit hole, but I have found very, what do you call it? What do you call it when something is accredited? It's like it's vouchable for, where the sun is feminine and the moon is feminine too. And then, Saturn has always been referred to as the grandfather of time and all that kind of stuff. But Saturn is feminine grandmother energy to Earth. So Saturn would be like a grandmother, and Earth is like the daughter to the grandmother, which is like the Mother Earth Gaia. Not to exclude masculine, all the dudes in the audience, like, why are you just trying to make us disappear? Well, y'all did that to us, because like God don't have a wife. We just got a father and a mother. Jesus is the way, and he didn't have kids, he didn't have a wife, he got, hey, just take it how it goes. Let me stop. So anyway, just a fun fact, because there's something about group 3 where leadership, masculine energies are going to be in the same room. Okay, that could lead to a push-pull dynamic and may indicate competition or emotional polarity within the relationship. So just be mindful of that. Now, the 3 of Wands, waiting for movement. There is a longing, but also emotional distance or misaligned timing. Potential is there, but one or both may be in waiting for the other to reach out. Sun in Aries, 9th house, expansion, higher self, timing, long distance, soulmates. So that's why the rabbit way over here, and it's like, where do I go? Well, I don't know, because we haven't talked about it, and the plans didn't fall through, right? And then somebody's short and acting like they don't care, but it's like they might. And then how I just overanalyze that's something that could be happening too, as far as the challenges with the 3 of Wands and the Magician. Is like manifesting love from afar, but possibly overanalyzing the path instead of walking it. So just be mindful of that. Now, the 5 of Wands, upright. While there is tension, there's also growth. The 2 of you are triggering necessary evolution. Your interactions may be chaotic, but they're forcing clarity. Passionate conflicts, strong connections that bring buried emotions to the surface. That's good stuff. I mean, it doesn't feel good, but me as the observer, right? I love when human soul ascension experiences that, because you have lifelong breakthrough through situations. I don't know. So I guess that did sound like real toxic of me to say, yeah, like I'm an alien or an angel watching Earth from the outer space saying, yeah, I like when that happens. Sorry. The zodiac signs are, and houses are Saturn and Leo. Look, as I'm talking about the grandmother in Leo, imagine that. That's some masculine energy. I dare some guy to say, you and your masculine energy. Or to argue with me and say, Saturn is father time. It's the 5th house. Ego test emotional maturity through friction. The 5 of Wands and the Hangman talks about conflict. It creates reflection and shadow integration. And see, that's what my observation from afar loves. Shadow integration. Because, call me the devil's advocate, but I like the shadow. Not because I like darkness or whatever, but it's like the shadow and the ego could keep you alive when you need instinct, when you're in shock or you're hurt or You're not consciously aware of your surroundings. It's a part of you that could save yourself without effort. So when people say kill the ego, wash yourself free of the shadow, it's an aspect of your brain and the way you're orchestrated that could save you consciously. It's a part of you that's consciously aware all the time, even if you're not conscious of that part. That's instinct, right? So anyway, see, look, what if intuition is feminine and instinct is masculine, right? Since we having a silent gender war right now. When the advice is the 10 swords and the mental loop, release the old stories. See what I'm saying? Like, what I thought and what was said and gender things and da 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 da. These are old stories. And it could cause overthinking, and it's a product of past pain that may have run its course emotionally or karmically. Endings are sacred in the 10 of Swords. This may be a call to fully release an ex or a self-sabotaging pattern. Ooh. Because both are distantly waiting on the other to react or respond. And both are very alpha-like. And both, right? So it's a pattern or possibly an ex. And so here is the ex and here is the pattern. Okay? Possibly. The 10 of Swords is also like it can't get any worse than this. You've been through the worst, so I don't want to say it can't get any worse than this, or that. You've already been through the worst. If it's an ex that you're thinking about, there was rock bottom betrayal, and don't you try to bring your charm and your physique over here, keeping me in limbo. Anyways, let go of emotional walls or those who keep hurting from a distance. Now, a pause for spiritual realignment could be the potential outcome or what's necessary or what happened, because it could be the past for some of you where we're on pause. Doesn't mean a breakup or a separation. This could just be mentally or emotionally. Those of you that are attracting this relationship or this person may manifest itself, because that's what you're doing, after some sort of pause. And be mindful to not get stuck, because there is this connection that is not ending, and then this connection that we're trying to manifest. Okay? You also, if in a relationship, it's not ending, it's evolving. So if it's shaky and there's some uncertainty because we both strong energies, it's evolving. And you're being asked to surrender to the outcome, because it's on your mind and it's on their mind. But surrender to the overanalyzing and the need to know, and just look for a higher perspective. For some of you, there's an issue that's unresolved, awaiting growth and closure. And that's the shadow energy of a higher emotional frequency relationship being manifested in. That could be what's blocking us too. I don't see blocks, I don't want to take it there, but if we're trying to manifest a higher frequency relationship, are there still unresolved issues with an ex? And it's not emotional. You didn't lose here. You're not crying and broken. You could have been, but you won't be. So it's more so just about the ego in this reading. So you have Neptune in Pisces, 12th house, spiritual pause, emotional sacrifice, and divine surrender. Because it's just bigger than you guys. The Hangman and the Magician still points back to, if you aren't going through such, depth right now, you're manifesting, but Spirit has the final say. So you, leader, strong force of your life, right? I respect that. But Spirit said to trust in divine timing. The connection is going to move fast and then stops cold for some of you. That's the past relationship which left open for questioning, because it was chemistry and it was conversation, and then that's why the rabbit moves fast, but the cold, the ice, the winter could be significant too. You're both awakening something in each other, which is desire, chaos, and reflection. And the white rabbit's message is to not rush. So let's dig into it. Your Astro card. All right. You have quincunx, dissonance, adjustment, and discord. Okay. Feel like something on there. Like, how it's thick, but whatever. There's a rebirth or an ending, because I'm nosy. We got 8th house. Oh, look. Surrender, restoration, and trust. So it's like, stop digging. Everybody just get one card. Your crystal card. Let's see what we have here. Your crystal card for group 3. Okay, this one just slid into my fingers. It's like, I like a clean cup. Now, the fact that you got 2 orange cards talks about the sacral chakra. Oh, look. And then 1 almost orange card poking out. That's crazy. So that's consistent. We're going to unpack that. Look at this. You got the solar plexus, the sacral chakra, and the root. Very interesting. You may also want to check out the pick a card that I did for releasing blocks. Because I did it's like based on the chakras, and it's a story. There are resolutions, crystals, and it's super dope. It's like 3-hour pick a card, so it's full detail. But you have Citrine, creativity, happiness, manifestation, Aries, Gemini, Libra, Leo, and the Sun. A powerful and energizing stone, derives its warmth from the rays of the sun and shines positivity wherever it's needed. It does talk about it magnifies your creativity to inspire manifestation, known as the light maker, and encourages you for fresh beginnings, new ideas, living your life to the fullest. Abundance is on the way. Some of y'all are waiting for it. I think group 1 got Citrine too. However, no one got Wolfenite or Red Jade, but I will say Wolfenite came up in that chakra reading, so check it out. This one is about journey, past life, and soul contracts. It's Sagittarius, Venus, and Mars. The journey has only just begun. This crystal can travel through your past, present, and future, and opens up communication with the spirit world. It also aids in past life regression, helping you see soul contracts that you've made in this lifetime, facilitating the karmic reunion and completion of a cycle once the lesson has been learned. Okay, very powerful for past life healing, resolving any issues that need to be faced. Because then we talk about that, unresolved issues, and so this could be the challenge in that sacral area. Now, the warrior. Identity and chi. See, this is why we need to trust. You guys saw in real time, and I wasn't even supposed to stop and read them. I was just going to lay out your oracle cards and these cards, but this may have been very important. Is this kyanite? Yep, kyanite, sticking around, truth, communication, and clarity. So that's cool. Speak your truth. But yeah, what was I saying? Warrior, individuality, and chi. Yeah, my point was, the cards wouldn't like fall perfectly like I like them to. Like, come out, I don't want to presume, spirit, do the work. But they just kept tapping the back of my fingers. So I was like, okay, I'll take them. And I trusted it. And then 1 was kind of poking out, and I only gave everybody 1 card. Y'all got 3, but I trusted it, right? And lo and behold, with this warrior, ego, masculinity, feminine, perfect card for the reading, all 3 of them. So trust. You got to see it unfold live. Unleash your inner warrior. Red jade is a stone of power. You're able to release anger in constructive ways. Ooh, baby. I would not want to see the King of Wands or the King of Swords angry, because this one is violent when irritated, and this one, so, yeah. It's filled with chi, and that's good. The life force in Chinese culture, it enhances passion, vitality, and strength. Now, if your life usually moves a little bit faster, or your love life has been on ice, the combination of this fast little creature being kind of like at a standstill in the snow says that things are going to heat up for you. I love that. It encourages you to be courageous and protective, but inspired. So I'm going to leave that one on top, because group 1 had one of your cards, and then the chakra reading had another one of your cards. So that one is individually for you today. Now, I did say to set your intentions to get an angel answer card and an amulet card right here. So do that as we shuffle them out and trust. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Look, you get rewards. Did you look? I need to stop doing that. I be wanting to look. You wasn't supposed to look. Bottom of the deck, though, our share says success. That's nice. All right. I'm going to shuffle the cards for your amulet answer card. All right. 3. That's crazy. I'm going to take them because they fell for you. This one is turned out. So, okay. Jesus Christ. If you feel blocked, and been honest with yourself, have a history of possibly people pleasing, or you came here to peek into the thoughts of someone who wasn't nice to you, the Spirit could be indicating that that's not the path. Veering off path is doing stuff that ain't good for us. I've done it. So if we listen and we don't judge. But I'm just the messenger here. And it's like, no, ma'am, no, sir, with that person on your mind. All right. We're going to get an oracle card. Okay, I'm going to keep shuffling. Sorry about that. One of them was backwards. Okay, good. Okay. Change is the essence of life. Be willing to surrender, because that's like the advice. What you are for, what you could become. That, you got to sit with that. What is that even? All right, and I'm going to do 3 of the reflection. Is this reflection or the glimpse? Ooh, you won't be surrendering for long, probably because you super warrior goddess or something. You're gonna get a sign, and you're gonna take off. You're gonna know this person is the one, or there's gonna be some communication, or you're gonna be relieved of some karmic stuff that kept a relationship or your whole love life in shambles. If you felt like cursed, or whatever the case. Oh my gosh, that sword was like up. Hold on, one more. All right. Ooh, change. You got the dice. You might get lucky. I love that. I do. Yeah, because at the bottom you have fortune and horseshoe. So hit the like button, comment, receive, or accept. And don't be egotistical or stubborn. Do it for me. We're engaging. We're rebuilding the community. And it would mean a lot to me to have your engagement. Okay. So just because you're feeling it doesn't mean that it's true. That is strong alpha energy. All right. I know that through and through. just from experience with human nature and being sure of our perspective. But others can sometimes, with this Five of Wands, try to help be the mirror if we allow it, right? Because we're going to either take it as our opposition, or let me sit back and see, because if everybody keep telling me this, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like when we think something or say something or do something, and it's just based on our habit, our pattern, our perspective. It's not really what is, but you can't tell us that, right? So there's that. I love the way this sword came out. Did you see it? It was your first card. It was like clarity. Now, the magician and shadow can sometimes be confused because his sword is down, I noticed. And he probably calling on spirit like, I know I got the tools. I know, right? Thank you. I'm receiving them. But there's like this connection that I need for direct communication for you to help me, because I don't get it all. And then just imagine an alpha person with a strong ego having to do that or needing to do that type deal. That's like personal. There may be some communication after whatever transit kind of interferes with our communication on this planet. So if there's any retrogrades or where it falls in your chart type deal, there could be some communication. Now with the Five of Wands being flapped on here, I don't know if it's the best communication that was had or will be, and it could lead to no communication again. Won't lie to you, I can't. However, it will lead to change, because this time it's gonna be like the last time. Like if you are on and off with a person, this time gonna be a little different for whatever reason. If we'll just leave it there. Now your answer for your intentional personal question: the situation will improve. It is a young lady, just like this magician, connected and reaching. You know, there's the divine. And then we have these three little dolphins, kind of like three cups, that talks about a celebration of some sort, you know, or just removing the confusion, because our third eye is expanding. So it's like I don't even need the right and left side of my brain. I done activated the divine, you know, alien part of it. So I can just autopilot if I needed to and don't know nothing. That's great for, I want to start a new career, or I don't know, you guys are focused on love, but when you want something to happen that don't seem likely because of a state of confusion, and then there's this other element that comes in and make it capable, you know, make it possible. I'll just leave it like that. It's kind of cool. Now, your other intention, so if you want to real quick say, let me think of 3 more people or ask 3 more questions. Here's one. Too late. I'm flipping it over. It says beyond a doubt. All right. The next one says trust. You already know. So stop doubting and trust, which has been a theme tonight. And then you have yes. Okay. You bullying spirit for this answer, and you got it. All right. I do hope that it helps, and thank all of you for watching. Group 4. It is your turn. You guys have the Blue Mountain, Petrified Wood, Frozen Mirrors Reflection, Elk card. The number 32 has been significant throughout tradition for a level of mastery of some sort, as are the little antlers or whatever. My favorite thing about this is how it literally looks like the sun shining like through the card on the thumbnail. Like every time I see this card, it's just so powerful. The sun. It reminds me of in the, what is it? The Wild Unknown, and I think it's the King of Pentacles has these colored antlers, which represents like some sort of interchange or connection to receiving, I don't know if it's information, enlightenment, or just being destined to have that sort of connection to ascended masters, archangels, or aliens, whoever's communicating with you. Since you guys got the Stranger Things deck, and we will go ahead and get started with that. Love your crystal. By the way, I love the petrified wood. I just became knowledgeable of it not too long ago, and I have some very super dope collector items for I got some Arizona something or other petrified wood, and I didn't know that for it to turn into what you see now, it takes millions of years. And I was like, come on, no, it can't be. But look into it. Super dope. So it's like priceless to me. Some of it is very expensive, and I thought that was dope, but I was like, nope, I'm keeping it. Because why would you do away with something that is ancient? So be it this love reading or just a personal message to you from your guides, it's ancestral, it's old, ancient, and I would love that, just to have that sort of connection, to receive information, to have that awareness. So it's super dope, which brings us into the ancestral grounding, time travel through memories, soul contracts, and sacred reflection. When I think of time traveling through sacred memories, it's like knowing something that other people don't know, and you're so sure of it deep down in your soul, but it may not be what's necessarily the backstory of this current lifetime. You know what I mean? So that's interesting. It's very unique, and it's a gift. It could also be uncomfortable, because everybody in your surroundings like not knowing the soul contracts or the memories, and then you just get a flood of them or something. Now, the oracle message from the elk is about seeing clearly with distortion, and that shapes the relationship. It is an intense mirror connection. What you see in them reflects a part of your own healing. Love here is both a teacher and a test. So to get started and to set an expectation, you guys may have selected the crystal, the oracle, or Aquarius, Sagittarius, or Capricorn zodiacs. You have a 7-card love spread that we'll dig into. Your energy was pre-shuffled into the cards, so don't worry. You'll also get 2 answer cards, so set the intentions to ask a personal question and personalize the reading for just you. And we're going to take several oracle and clarifiers. We got some astro cards and additional crystal card, and we're going to dive right into this. I love the aspect of the teacher test energy, because the King of Pentacles, which is in the family of the elk, right? They're different, but it's in the family of the elk. It reminds me of like soulmates, divine unions, twin flame connections, and the reason for the love, infatuation, and admiration is usually because of the absence of it in the other person's storyline or self, right? Like being really admirable of brave people who are confident, that show leadership skills, and oh my gosh. And then personally, being more easygoing, getting over self-confidence issues, and maybe not having the bravery to be liberated and free, like someone you may be attracted to. So the discovery of that is so powerful. And the shadow side of it is becoming, our exes. So it's like we become, that in which we experience, but you're in control here. You guys had Max come out, and I don't think I went over the actual characters in any of the other pals, But her storyline, where there's loss and there's grief, and then there's this crazy relationship with this other person who kind of like is cool, but I got my own thing going on. And then the mirror effect, or the flip side, is ultimately in their relationship, he started having his own thing going on. Where Max was the badass who didn't care, he ended up being, someone who went out for their own space in the world and got more attention, or did something they loved. You know what I mean? And kind of grew through that. So I thought it was dope to point that out. And she's also representing the strength card, and we'll get to it. Now, the first card is the current feelings, right? So the Six of Pentacles would talk about a crave, for balance. It's the give and take. It's, reciprocity or whatever. And I'm not going to ignore this Wheel of Fortune in the background. So it is fate, it is destiny, it is timing, but that's not the most important aspect of it. It's about give and take. If we learn life lessons through give and take, that could reflect in our relationships. And I do believe originally the Three of Pentacles was in the reverse. So it could be like in a collaborative space, giving and taking is involved in a situation. I love the Fountain Tarot for giving the visualization of the guy and then the two chicks on each side, you know what I mean? Getting a smaller aspect of whatever was being worked on, the pieces of the pies or whatnot. So it gives like this dominance to whoever that guy was, and a supportive aspect to whoever the additional people were. And it's three individuals traditionally in the Six of Pentacles too, where there's one standing up, handing out with with the scales in the other hand. And then there's two kneeling, one receiving and the other one like looking. So that may be the challenge, the collaborative aspect of it, or the giving and receiving aspect of it, the waiting to receive, the giving, or the receiving. A generous heart, right? But you're now drawing a line. Seeking reciprocity, desiring depth, and not breadcrumbs. And I totally get that. This is Moon in Taurus energy, which is the second house, and it talks about values, self-worth, and sensual loyalty. And that can be deep, when like you are very smart, you have common sense, you see what's going on, but there's still like this chemistry and a loyalty to it, you know what I mean, where it within itself is its own thing despite what's actually happening. And I know personally needing to set that boundary, and when I've worked with clients, whether it's like a therapy in the relationship sector for my married couples, it may sound cheesy, like people pay for that, or you went to school, you pay for that, that's common sense. But I remind them to do the pros and cons, so it's like, I don't know what to do. Whether it's, I don't know when to bring the conversation up, or I don't know if I'm going to file for a divorce, so I don't know. Okay, do the pros and the cons. And this is the energy too of the reciprocity or the collaboration. Like, what's being done, what needs to be done, what are you doing, what are they doing, you know what I mean? And then for you guys to have the mirror. And I thought it was very interesting that the mirror is frozen. I've never heard that aspect before, because it's like, if this is an individual thing, if I'm looking in the mirror, I'm moving, I'm physical, right? But the reflection being frozen, is it standing still type deal, you know what I mean? It's not moving the way I move, so for some, the Three of Pentacles reversed is not making the effort. So that's how the reflection isn't moving, where if there's no effort being made, caught in the ego, unable to collaborate emotionally. It may indicate someone who sees love as conditional or transactional, And I have the Queen of Pentacles here. Now, not to just throw her in the shadow, right? But there it is. And this could be man or woman. It represents the archetype, or the characteristic of someone who's dealing with nonsense because it's contractual, whether it's old school or, admiration, whatever the case. It's just like, it is what it is. It's a contractual situation. It's not meant to be perfect, balanced, or what's necessary. So this could indicate someone that also in love or in a misaligned situation, difficulty in building something lasting together, defensive, avoidant of emotional accountability. And that sucks when you're dealing with a person who is so like you, per se. I'm just going to say you because you are the part of the collective and we're on your side, right? So you being someone who doesn't deserve that, it would be a misaligned situation for you to be, with a counterpart that is contractual, and it's like, I'm here, we together. So what else you want? Or it's bad, or, whatever, something's not working. But okay. Now, don't add getting defensive to that being brought to light. So the grace of the Strength card would allow for patience and giving somebody an opportunity because you're grounded, you're a caretaker, you're organized, you can figure it out and express yourself while allowing them room to kind of get on your level. And then there's the ego, the lion, who's supposed to be, the king of the jungle and the most brave, but at the same time, it doesn't win this battle. Grace, guidance wins the battle. So you aren't the king here. And it submits to that and is okay with that. And it's super cool. And I think Max had to deal with that too. She has the red hair, so it's like she's getting it, and so does the lady in the line. It could be the dual aspect of a person, where a part of me, she had that tough, exterior, but at the same time, internally, can't wait to see, season 5, and what she becomes, or how she, balances that through her experiences and seeing her reflection through her relationships. The relationship that she had with her family, the loss and grief of her brother. And it's like, why am I even grieving this loss when he was, and then why am I saddened or, offended by, the little boy trying to get his life together when I pushed him away most of the time or had the upper hand in the relationship. So now it's I'm feeling some kind of way because I pushed him away and he fell and got up and walked off. You know what I mean? So it takes grace to forgive yourself for something like that once you realize it. And also just to keep from an outburst, because she did go through a lot for a kid. And it's like manifesting it. Because whatever her natal chart was, wherever she had that red hair child, it's just like every situation, every step of your life had that energy into it. So you can't even blame the people on the outside because it just seems like your reality or whatnot. So I can understand that. Which takes us to power struggles and emotional sabotage, with the Three of Pentacles crossing this Five of Swords as I talk about her. So let's get to her. Excuse me. A soul contract is definitely at play. This is the connection between you. That's what this card represents. And the connection requires patience, inner work, and forgiveness. There's undeniable chemistry, but it's testing your emotional resilience. Intense, slow burn, karmic bond. healing from inner wounds through mirrored experiences. And that is so crazy because you literally have frozen mirror right there. Leo, 5th house, heart, courage, ego healing. The strength with the 5 of Swords is like taming a conflict through inner peace. Now, when learning reciprocity, and it's a part of a life lesson, if I'm taming conflict through inner peace, that doesn't mean to not get a resolution. It doesn't mean like, because that's a placement. It's like Mars and Pisces energy, where to avoid confrontation, I won't make a big deal out of it. And I'm gonna keep my peace, and that's keeping the problem down. Now that's smart. I ain't gonna lie, because I don't believe in wasting energy for frivolous, because 5 swords could also mean something frivolous and petty. So it's like I'm not doing that. I'm gonna, what I can do to help benefit this situation. So the collaborative act of the situation, what I could do to help it is to not make it worse. That's great. But if doing so brings you a nightmare, and you see how the colors in the background, how there's a connection between her and it, the monsters, the anger, the life situations, the what is going on here and why, and then also the lack of innocence, because I self-sabotaged half of it. It's just a lot. Anxiety, friction with the 9 of Swords, Libra energy too. So that could lead to anger and frustration. It's like passive aggression. So just be mindful of that. Now the challenge is, in the present, we have the Queen of Pentacles. One of you is deeply grounded and nurturing. I love that. While the other may be emotionally immature and avoidant with this arm fold. And it could create imbalance or resentment either way. One party is emotionally available, the other isn't showing up. So we have Capricorn, 10th house, emotional leadership, maternal archetype. The Queen of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, caregiving, fatigue. So it's like, yeah, you built for this. But here's the aspect of fatigue from being that one. It's like, I'm so strong and people can depend on me, but in that moment of who do I depend on type deal, someone or you is tired of being over functioning. Now the 5 of Swords is the connection forces truth to the surface. So it's like you're gonna have to, it brings that truth up for you and or to whoever is causing it. It's painful sometimes, but it reveals what's needed to heal: ego, fear, abandonment, or pride. And sometimes those of us that may have had abandonment, and we don't even like to say I got abandonment issues, if there was some early childhood situation that someone who was supposed to be a caregiver or dependable wasn't, you know what I mean? It's there subconsciously, energetically. And there's that soul contract aspect of it. And then ultimately this mastery slices through the illusion. And it's not pretty, but very potent. So imagine some of you here, especially you, right? I'm going to say that because you know who you are. You're learning a lesson through this relationship because you're healing childhood wounds and may have attracted a partner, much like what they tried to insinuate he was becoming. Busy. What are you talking about? I don't understand, but yeah, I still care about you. And she feels alone, even though wasn't he the one that came, to save him? He was late, but, and then, he's doing his own thing. But it also seems like, the parents that were busy, the older brother that was weird type deal, and her adulthood was like about to start in front of us. So we have Venus in Aquarius, 11th house, karmic lessons through detachment, intellectual wounds. There's also anxiety rooted in betrayal or emotional games. So it's like, I'm not going to put a lot into this because I got anxiety, I got trust issues, and just to keep the peace so I don't have to hurt anyone. If I don't put a lot into it, there's no expectations, no harm, no foul. The Queen of Pentacles could also think like that because it's contractual. Whatever I want from the situation is what I'm going to focus on. So there's that. Now, the Nine of Swords, like I said, the anxiety for some, it's release of mental anguish or being asked to. Losing sleep, overanalyzing, haunted by the past. Spirit is urging you to shift the narrative because this may be a trauma bond or mirror dynamic. Forgive yourself. And I think we started the reading with that. Mars and Gemini, 3rd house, overthinking, emotional self-blame. Oh my God. It's like not self-blame, honey. It's a karmic situation. It's definitely both of you. And did you hear what I said? I was like, oh, and then losing your innocence because you self-sabotage, you push people away. So now she's sitting there at the end of the day when he's off having fun and they're on the basketball team. Did I do this? No. You both participated in this exchange. You know what I mean? Stop rehearsing pain. I said it. Spirit put it in the card, so don't block me. But don't rehearse pain. And I could see, because I know from experience abandonment issues and just having psychological, educational background and reading a lot and knowing stuff, that you can rehearse it. And I often ask, my friends, family members, or even clients to be considerate of being addicted to emotions, right? When we listen to songs that stimulate the pain or get involved with similar people that will stimulate the pain and then say we don't like the pain, it's like, but you like listening to those songs on repeat. And we spend more time on what hurt instead of what we'd rather have. To me, that's an addiction. Grief, while isn't, always comfortable, it is necessary and it's a sensitive topic. Don't want to offend anyone. I'm just not and I'm also autistic, so I do have Asperger's. My emotions are, I have to consciously work on them to not offend normal people, I guess I'll say. So please consider that before writing me off. But for me, right, constantly revisiting thoughts, songs, places, locations, even deaths. I lost a sibling. So it's like I'm not on the outside looking in, making this insertion unsolicited. It's just my intelligence says it happened. It's probably going to hurt for a while. You can deal with it however you'd like. But to be breaking down, broken, and hurt and feeling this pain every 3 days, every 6 months, every anniversary, some people think that that's normal, and we listen and we don't judge. However, as a doctor, of metaphysical sciences, and my awareness of chemicals being induced into the body causing life circumstances and situations as well as disease, it's like, okay, I understand human behavior and emotion, but there's also the self-respect and the intelligence of, if I keep feeling like this, something gonna break inside, something's gonna go wrong. I'm gonna manifest more of it. I'm gonna have an unexpected health crisis. So do you hear me? Right? So that's where it's like, well, I can't keep crying every June 5th. I can't feel sad every Thursday. Not because, get over it. You're trying to tell somebody how to grieve, but because it's not healthy. and seems like an addiction to it because I do it more often than celebrating something else. So just keep that in mind. Now, heart-led healing. You'll rise from this stronger. Mercury in Aquarius, 11th house, detachment, higher mind, healing, and soul evolution. See? It's spirit, it's not me. We're going to do your oracle cards, your astro cards, your 2 answer cards that I promised, and let's talk about it. Okay, first up, we're going to lay out the astro and crystal card. Let's go. I did astro first for everybody else. So. All right. Palace, wisdom, skill, self-defense. Okay, don't play with it. For your astro card, full moon, culmination, release, and illumination. Ooh, look at that. So we got eclipse energy. All right, your 2 answer cards. So set those intentions, get those questions on your mind. Get those questions on your mind from the Angel Answer deck. Okay, this one came out. We're gonna sit it here, but I'll give an honorable mention to recovery because it was perfectly platted. I love that. That's you. That's your guide, and that's source. And then it's a lot. It's a lot going on. Okay, it's where you pulling this from. Okay, I love it. Absolutely love it. It's coming through them into you, in the heart and the mind. This is, you see that? It's like something's coming from somewhere. Then there's this aura of illumination on this illuminated one that has your back. So we have recovery. All right. After some sort of weight. And recovery could also even mean like I get it back. After what seemed like a weight. Your amulet. Okay, it's like the crystal ball. You know, when we were little, you shake the ball and get your answer. Well, we're gonna shuffle it out. They've been kind of crazy. I'm gonna leave those on the floor. They everywhere. It's a mess. And if you see the other groups, you trust me, because spirit in these cards been something else. See, look, and then at the bottom of the deck, we have shuffle and pull again. If I have any, superstitious ones, I will pull an extra card for you, because your guide may be like, make it personal for him. So I said, okay. Shuffle and pull. So it's not going to come out. We're going to pull it off the top and sit that there for you. Your oracle cards and some clarifiers. I love these glyph cards. Ooh, bottom of the deck we have resilience with the scarab, with the number 17 too. So it's a beautiful number. All right, first card, journey. Ooh, this is, yeah, see, you got somebody somewhere, honey, that is your friend. Now, you may have experienced a twin flame situation, or an initiation of some sort where you're elevating, and part of the elevation was like, have you seen, what series was that? It was on Hulu, I think, where the sisters do the series of things for who's going to be the supreme. So maybe to heal wounds, or to whatever reason that is a part of your initiation, it just symbolizes something that could have been challenging, intimate, and let's see what they're gonna do. Let's see what you're gonna do. And I think that's you're doing it because you have power right here. And for some of you, it's okay. It's definitely the connection, and we have hands. Oh, you may even be a healer because you got the number 33 with the yin and the yang. Oh my gosh! So that is okay. Spirit's like, put them down. We on something else right now. Okay. All right. Not a problem. So you mystical, magical, or whatnot. All right. So as stated, let's pull it in. Wisdom, skill, self-defense. So reciprocity is part of it. Now, if it's been hard for you or them to execute that, even with your phenomenal understanding, because you are connected to the divine, so you know if it's been difficult because of past issues, childhood traumas, past life energy that you incarnated with. It could even be the astrological correspondence from when the time and date and location you were born, wherever the challenges came from. It's something bigger in the win. It's not just as simple as guy meets girl or whoever meets who. It's bigger than that. And so I'm not trying to belittle the situation or the person, but yeah. So we have the journey card with the labyrinth. And notice it wasn't the maze. Like the maze is for us normal people. And in the matrix, if you're lucky, you'll get somebody that'll call and say, go right, go left, go to the payphone down the street, turn 3 blocks to get you out of certain situations. But the labyrinth is just one way out. The matrix is more like multiple ways out, and you have to figure it out. But the labyrinth, you have grace with this challenge that's helping you, which is amazing. Because if you're anything like me, I think I'm spoiled a little bit. And I just feel like you the mystical magical one. You're the other dimension. You're super galactic. Okay? Can you utilize that power for your girl? All right? And then maybe you feel like me and their answer to you is sure. Sure, babe. I will. Because Max is also, she got that energy. There's this fire and this power behind her. But there's still this sweet, people wronged her. The situation was just wrong. I think when you start off and see here's to, maybe this is how we can get into victimhood. But I was just about to say, when life started off and you just handed that plate, I honestly could understand. Not saying I agree with it, but I understand how everything after that is fair game. Because look how the balls just start rolling for me, right? So shout out to you, group 4. I love this, and the owl is one of my favorite animals. You got 2 9s too, so 99 could be significant to some of you. And your answer card, dun, 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 dun. You're ready. Okay, look, shoots. You saw, that's why Spirit was like, show that card. It was behind her, doing the thing, right? And then look at her now, child. Yes. You ready for your second question or intention? Loosen your grip. Little Max, look at her. Loosen your grip. Is that about that 9 of swords? Loosen your grip. You anxious about it? Now bring it back to this love situation or relationship or singlehood, whatever you in. This marriage, this live-in, whatever. Loosen your grip. All right? Somebody's ready. You don't have to worry. Boom. All right? This one is release the desire. Okay? Right. And then they'll come running because he was more into her. When that desire from him was released, she got all confused. So you could be on that side of the totem pole. But group 4, I super appreciate you guys for tuning in. Your engagement means everything to me. And if you could drop a comment, press the like button and subscribe. I promise we're going to keep the content rolling and the messages clear. Until next time.